Hey yo, PGH Comic Expert here, going through my recent comic haul video. Had won a couple of proxy bid auctions here recently, as well as visited a store that I hadn't gone to in a couple years out in Greensburg, PA. That they had a few hidden items in there that I think they didn't really know what they had, so I did take advantage because they had some back issues there for $1 a piece, as well as a couple other interesting ones. So I'm going to start with this one. This is Superman number 9. That's volume 2. That's a John Byrne cover. I don't really think there's anything special about it. I just happen to like the cover. Also in that box, I did find Radioactive Man number 1. Come on, it's Bart Simpson, the Radioactive Man, the White Glove treatment. That was a comic book that all of him and his friends all saved up for, and I think got ruined in the episode. Early Simpsons, I'm dating myself here because I did see that when it was brand new. Another thing that takes me back to my youth a little bit, Darkwing Duck, Volume 1, Number 2. I've always been a fan of the Disney Duck, I'll call it a closeted fan of the Disney Duck comics and cartoons. Always been a Donald Duck guy and an Uncle Scrooge guy, and as a kid, like I said, I enjoyed watching DuckTales, and DuckTales, TaleSpin, and Darkwing Duck were it back then in the 90s. So being raised in the 90s, I tend to hold on, to these books here. Okay, picked up a copy of Spawn 225, the Romney Wins edition. We all know that didn't happen. See, Romney Wins. This is Todd McFarlane's way of paying homage to the Watchmen. Watchmen, I believe that's Watchmen number 1 or number 12. I haven't looked at them in a while. And there were 2 versions of this. I only felt the need to buy one. Okay, going through the dollar box, I did find Hard Corpse number 1, volume 1. That is the first issue, Valiant. Back then, that's Jim Lee cover. Actually Jim Lee and Bob Layton. And Valiant was kind of hardcore back then. They were a little dicey when it came to their stories. So there are some Valiant movies being optioned. I did not see hardcore on the docket, but you never know. Okay, one of my favorite, not the favorite, but one of my favorite Grey Hulk covers, and I actually bought 2 of these, is Incredible Hulk number 350. I did get 2 copies. This is Hulk vs. Thing. This is a mutated Thing after he had gained some extra strength and could actually hold his own against the Grey Hulk. And with Dr. Doom in the middle. That is just a fantastic cover. It's not anybody. Terry Austin did the ink, but I think it's Puries. I don't know. I've never heard of the guy who did the actual cover. But I did get 2 copies. That one's not as nice. This one I got at a different place, but I did get it the same day. Again, great Hulk versus Thing battle in that one. I picked up a copy of Year 3, number 1, part 1. I've been looking for this one for a while. I do have parts 2 and 3. This is a bit of a rougher copy, but what do you expect when you're looking at a dollar bin? As you can see, it's got some flaws up there. Alright. Now, still working on that store that I visited. Got a good bit out of there. I think you'll all be surprised. So I managed to get one of these. Avengers number 1 custom edition. Elks Never Alone. That's the anti-drug use company variant. And that's actually going for a pretty penny on eBay. Now I have a bunch that were, I just ran out of bags, and a couple of these were pretty damaged, and I'll show them off. I'm not really going to talk about them. These 2 Iron Man books. Got Iron Man 31. That one's got some liquid damage. I didn't even put a bag in it yet because, again, I ran out. We've got 52, which has this cover flaw here. I did find this. I'd expected it to go for more because it's a J. Scott Campbell cover, but that was only $1. I think it's going for 5 or 6 in that condition. I mean, everybody loves the way J. Scott Campbell draws women, so I'm sure I could probably capitalize off of that a little bit once I get it all nice and bagged up and boarded and everything. Alright, found this. Not going to pass these up. Frank Miller Batman. Never pass up Frank Miller Batman books. They're highly collectible. David Mazzucchelli, great on the artwork there too, and Year One is a brutal story. I think it's almost as good as The Dark Knight. And can't talk about Year One without some Year Two. So I did find two Year Two books. Haha. Part 2, which I already have this series. I showed it off in another video. That's a Todd McFarlane cover. Got a crease in the middle. I get a couple bucks. I'm fine with that. And we got Year 2 Part 4. It's another McFarlane cover. Let's see. Suicide Squad number 2. Would have been great if it was number 1. But with the upcoming movie, I plan on flipping that. The Fury of Firestorm, The Nuclear Man number 1. This is actually volume... Well, it's volume 1 of The Fury of Firestorm, but this is not Ronnie Raymond. I believe this is the offspring of Ronnie Raymond, or supposed to be the offspring of Ronnie Raymond and Felicity Smoke, I think. Which, if CW's kind of got their stories a little mixed up. And then I actually have a really nice copy, and I'll probably sell this one because I have a couple Uncle Scrooges for sale of I don't really see how this one has much of a flaw except has a date stamp on it, but this is Walt Disney Gold Key, Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number, I think it's 506. I don't know, Gold Key has those really long numbers, but that book really doesn't have any flaws. I mean, it's got a little bit of cover wear. See, it's got the smudge there, cover's a little strained. It does have a stamp, like the printing itself had a stamp through. As you can see, there's a reflection. I don't know, you might be able to see it. It's better to see it with the naked eye. Not an awful copy though. Just need to get some bags and boards for those. Some of that was a proxy bid auction. That was a damaged comics lot. So moving on, I have one other book I got from that store, but I'm going to save it till the end here. So I told you I won a proxy bid auction, and in that was some magazines. So the magazines I won, which I do collect magazine comics too, you know, my wife probably is just super thrilled about that, is got the Tomb of Dracula number 1 magazine. Pretty nice shape. Got a number 3. Okay. And these were all kind of lumped together. Got a Savage Sword of Conan number 6. I believe I showed you a Savage Sword number 1 a little while back. Savage Sword of Conan number... This one's in a little bit rougher shape. This is number 8. And in case you guys don't know this, again, I'll say it again. I showed you... So I have a vault video that I'm waiting to share. I want to get some subscribers, but I do have the first appearance of Man-Thing, and I think it is the second comic appearance of Conan, where it's at least the second title or alternate title. It's Savage Tales number 1, and it is Conan the way that Robert E. Howard meant him to be in print and illustration, because they had to sanitize Conan the Barbarian for the Marvel comic release, but under Curtis Magazines, which is a Marvel imprint, they don't have to, because they don't have to follow the code, because it's considered a magazine. Air quote, you like that? Okay. Really happy with this one. This is Savage Tales number 10. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the Barbarian comics. The John Carter. I mean, I've got the John Carter Warlord of Mars omnibus for Marvel. Love John Carter stories. I love reading the Khazar stories. Again, I think I've said it before. Khazar is the Lord of the Savage Land. That is the jungle under Antarctica. And in these Savage Tales, he is Ka-Zar the Savage for sure. Alright. In that lot, we had the Man of Bronze, Doc Savage #1. It wasn't bad. That book's not in terrible shape. It has a small spine split, but again, it's another Curtis magazine. And the last magazine that I received, which has some wear, but I've been looking for this one for a while at a pretty affordable price, is Savage Tales Annual #1. Love that Ka-Zar cover with Zabu biting into the dragon. It's just, you know, one of the better action magazines out there. Okay. Now, I don't really want to plagiarize somebody's little catch line. The guy who inspired me to make these videos is, I believe, is Mercenaut, or I believe Mercenaut is how you say it. But he, every time he's got a key find, he always says, "Look at you." So in the spirit of him and a little Robert De Niro action here, I'm going to say, "Look at you. Look at you." This was the find of the day when I went to that shop. Usually comic shops will take their variant covers and they will stash them away. They'll make you pay, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50 for them. And this one was in with the main stock, and you could tell this guy was not a comic shop owner. He has comics, but that place is more focused on on Magic the Gathering and other card games and tabletops. Yeah, so this, in case you are wondering, this is Amazing Spider-Man volume, I don't know, 3, number 11. Let me zoom in here real quick. This is the Lugs variant edition. Okay, it says Marvel Custom Edition. And who is that, you say? He's the Birdman, baby. Flies in any weather. Yes, that is Birdman from the Big Timers on the cover of Spider-Man, signing a contract with the Kingpin. So, why is this book so special? Every store only gets one of these books per order. And this is basically one book per store. I've been doing some digging on this. I paid $3.99 cover price for this book. And it is selling on eBay now for, I don't know, $40 in this condition. I was thinking about just turning a quick profit, but really what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get it graded at the upcoming WizardCon Pittsburgh, Wizard World Pittsburgh, that's coming up here in September. So I think I could definitely, if I want to make it more marketable, I'm going to get it graded. This is a rare book. These modern variants are pretty much Marvel's way of making comics relevant again, because you can't, you know, the comics now, they're overprinted, they're all digital, none of them are hand drawn anymore, and this one here, it's, you know, it's one of those one in however many are retailer exclusive or incentive variants. That's what Marvel is. You know, Marvel and DC and these other companies have been making these variant covers to get people to come out and spend a little bit more money. But me, I don't really believe in spending the money on the extra cover. If the cover price says $3.99 and the shop owner, like the dickhead here in Murraysville, you know, says, "Oh, that's $40," and he can blow it out of his ass for all I care, because I'm not giving him $40 for a comic book that has a cover price on it for $3.99 that you just got in the store today. So yeah, I was pleased to find this for $3.99. There is another one out there I'm looking for, the Avengers with Eminem and Iron Man on the cover, but for now I'm going to settle for this, and I am going to get it graded. And when I get it graded, when it comes back, maybe I'll sell it next year, because you know, I'll submit it in September and I'll get it back in December at some point. Alright, that's my video. Leave some feedback. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.